welcome back to Studioloo. We're here for December the 10th of Dephemerember. This is hosted by 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel. You can find more details in my description box. So today's prompts are altered pocket and texture fragments. So when we talk about fragments, I am slightly overwhelmed by a certain type of fragments at the moment. So we're going to go with using them. If I can get them off the little snippy thing I've got them on here. Hold on. Here we come. Fragments, fabric fragments. Look at all these little fragments of fabric. It's kind of scary how much I have in here. There's even some yarn in here. So these are all different kinds of fragments. So I was thinking what would be fun to do today is to make some fabric pockets. And we're going to do that with fragments. So I'm going to cut like a decent amount of this. This is dissolvable webbing. You can get this in any kind of like a sewing store, or some craft stores might have it, but it's definitely like a textile kind of thing. It's basically like fusible webbing, but instead of it being fusible with ironing, it's for dissolving. So this webbing completely dissolves in water. Why is that awesome? Because you can stick things in between it, put these sandwich back together, and then sew the entire thing in all kind of crazy ways until you've bound everything together with stitching on the inside. Then run it under some warm water, give it a little agitation, and what you're going to see is a lot of fun. So let's start to play with this. There's no rhyme or reason. It's a pretty fun and easy process. You'll just need some pins as well to keep it all kind of together. So let me just start grabbing some bits of fabric here. Now they can be little bits, they can be long bits, doesn't matter. I'm just going to use things kind of as I have them. And on the most part, you want to try to like fill in all your spaces, right? I don't want it to be too thick, but try to fill it in. And it's just like sprinkling bits and bobs. There's no bit that's too small. Some people believe that you shouldn't use big pieces. I don't really care, to be honest. I might come in just like with my scissors and just kind of cut through a few times, you know, on the big pieces. This is some wool that's knit. So it might be good to kind of just cut that up if we don't want too much of the same material together. You know, you really just kind of do what you like. There's not a lot of rules here. As with most things that I do here in Chaos Town, we don't use a lot of rules. I think that's good. That's chopped up pretty good. Okay. So now let's move this salad around here. Maybe I'll start up in this corner. Just kind of like cover the corner. We'll go right across the top. Okay. Yeah, I'll just clip up these little bits here. I try to usually make sure I'm only putting small things, but every now and then I just do whatever strikes me here. I do like the flowers on that though. It's really quite pretty. These are great for making journal covers too. This method. Okay. Cut up some of this Christmas fabric so it's not too much Christmas all at once. Okay. So that's good coverage. Grab a little bit more here. And keep going. So what have you enjoyed so far the most in Dephemerember? What have been your favorite makes? And have you found any new makers yet in Dephemerember? Have you looked at the hashtag and seen who's up to what? I know that part of my Release the Craft and Design team is Bellaboo Creations. She's a lot of fun. I know she's taking part. I've been watching Lee Creates as well, who I believe is in Australia. So we get to see her work like a whole day before everybody else, even Louisa and Barbara, because of course she's a good day ahead of us over here in North America. I need to look around and see who else is participating. I've had a very busy week. I'm in a busy period of life at the moment. I was reminiscing about the reasons why I think I like doing Dephemerember so much, and it's, because it started, I think, during the lockdown, the pandemic lockdown here in Ontario, where I am. And I remember every night going to bed, and I didn't have to go to work physically. I would work at home, but I would wake up every morning with nowhere to go. So I'd go to bed dreaming. I'd think about the prompt for the next day, and I'd come up with all these ideas in my head at night, and then the next morning I would be so excited to just get downstairs and start work on the next prompt. And I think we were all trying to do something unique from one another, and so I think we were pushing our boundaries, and I've tried to keep that spirit with Dephemerember. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Okay, more little bits. Let's pull these apart here. I need to be stricter with myself, so I stop throwing big stuff into my scraps. I have this way of organizing little fabric scraps. So for stuff like this does not belong in there at all. That's like, it should be used as is kind of thing. And for any of the bigger stuff, it's supposed to go over to my sewing machine in order to become like a tab or something that I stitch on. But I've been breaking the rules a little here. I'm throwing all these pieces that are too big. See, like if I go deep in the bag, you'll see I used to be really good about it. I used to behave, and I would do the little crumbs in this bag. So let's actually just pull to those, and I will cut the rest of the crumbs up, or the bigger crumbs. We will cut those up a little better. Okay, but I think we're getting close here. So once this is all filled up, which it just about is, I need to pull this up a little higher. Okay, that's better. Okay, so then just kind of pull things right to the edge, and then like just kind of, move things around to make sure that all your surfaces are covered as much as you can. Because the more coverage you've got, the better this will turn out. Because any gaps, you're going to have gaps in like your pocket in this case. Not that that's a big deal. It really isn't. Could actually be kind of neat to see little bits through it. Okay. Now I'm just sort of like selectively looking for places that could stand to get a little filling in. That's probably good. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. So now, let me just grab a couple more little guys. I see a couple little spots. One there, one here, one here. So I could sit and obsess over this all day. Let's not, though. All right, so now we come in with the other layer right here. 2-hour sandwich. Just make sure you're fully covering everything here. Okay, so we have our sandwich together. I think I need to flip this. Got this the wrong way. Yeah, that's better. Yep, That's better coverage. Okay, so now grab your pins. And you're going to come around, beginning like right at the bottom, and just start pinning it around. Just kind of cram everything in there as you go. Oops. This might just take a moment, but I'll share with you kind of the process in case you've never seen this before. Sometimes I concern myself with the conciseness of the way that I work, but not always, because I think sometimes it's good to share these details with people because they may not have ever seen this process by anyone before, and they might be really interested in learning about it, like a tutorial. Okay. Pull those out a little bit. There we go. It's best to kind of just do the edge first, because that will trap everything inside. Okay. We're getting there. You can also do this with yarn, wool, any kind of textile or fiber. Okay, now go the bottom edge here. And then when I sew this, I'm going to actually go around the edge first in the exact same way that I'm doing with the pins. And that will just kind of trap my whole sandwich together. And then I'm just going to like freeform stitch all the way around in all different directions. Lots and lots of stitching. I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like once it's been stitched. And you don't need like a freeform foot. You can do this with a regular sewing machine foot, and just, you know, keep changing directions, going all over. I don't go in a grid or anything, but you could. It doesn't really matter. You'll find that your stitching isn't honestly all that noticeable at the end of the project. Because the fabric kind of, it really like hides everything. Okay, so now we've got all the way around there done. And I don't think I even need to put pins in the middle, to be honest. This will pretty much stay put. Like maybe I'll do like one, you know, in case I were to drop it, I wouldn't want it to all flop everywhere. And maybe two. And that'll just kind of keep that whole middle area down, right? So we are done. I will go to the sewing machine now and I will stitch all around this and come back. All stitched around, and maybe I should have used like a darker thread so you could see, like, but I think you can see those stitches, right? So essentially I've gone all different directions all around everywhere. On this side you might be able to see it better because the stitches are yellow. So essentially my rule for this is like you want to do so much stitching that you've got maybe maximum a centimeter and a half, like between any two row of stitches, right? So here you see they're real close together. That's about not quite a centimeter. Then we have about 1.5, and then maybe like this would be about my biggest gap here, 2 centimeters. And I actually ran out of thread right there, so I meant to sew over that spot, but it'll be fine. So the reason why you need that much stitching is because, you know, you're keeping this all together, right? You've essentially just made a piece of fabric from a whole bunch of little bits. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to wash this off. I'm going to use warm water, and essentially when I come back, you're just going to see the most loveliest result. Okay, so here is the end result. All this is all stitched together. It is still wet. I need to let it dry. When I let it dry, I'll probably go around and maybe snip some threads here and there, but I might not. I may end up just leaving them. So around the edge, it's common, you know, to have some bits of thread that will do this if you didn't fill in a gap. That's what you'll see with any of the gaps, is you get these fun, like, you know, thready bits. So it's really a fun jumble. And what I see when I look at this right now is just like lots of green. So that's kind of cool. That will maybe flavor what comes along. I like that there's some yarn here in the mix, some lace. So I will let this dry completely, and then we will come back and start making something fun with it. So now that this is all dry, let's go ahead and get started turning it into pockets. So I think the way that I want to do that is I want to back it to, you know, basically give it that altered pocket kind of feel, right? Like we want to turn this into a textile paper kind of thing. So I think I have two options. I can go ahead and like put it down now with some glue and then stitch it on here, and then we can cut it, or I can cut it first. I almost think I might want to cut it first, to be honest. So let's do that. Grab my fabric scissors here, and so I think what I'll do is just kind of make judgments about the size of pockets that I want. I think that would be pretty good, and we'll come up and just cut as straight of a line as we can here. Good. Now I'll go this way. Yeah, that's really cool. I don't even know if I need to back these, to be honest. Like, why would I need to? That would just be a good pocket. Like, you know, you fabric here, 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 and you have a pocket. I mean, you'd probably go like across here. I sort of feel like I might just leave these as is, as fun, altered, interesting pockets. So let's just keep cutting. So fun. I'm going to cut that edge off because it just doesn't really work for me. I like that better. And then you can kind of pick your favorite side, right? So like, I think I might just keep these like this, because then when I'm making journals with them, you know, let's say that the color theme I'm working with is like, you know, this would fit into kind of like a greens and blues, you know, or something with gold. And then over here, this would fit into like a Christmas kind of theme. So it's really like two pockets in one, like two options. So now let's go this way. Maybe I will even use one of these in my current journal as part of this fun exercise here. And I'm even working on a Christmas book right now. Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
This is what I made. I'm Cindy's daughter.
Very nice, thank you.
This is watercoloring. That's the sun. This is like in fall, like that's the red leaves and those are the orange leaves. It's like a little person. I couldn't really detail it that much because like my white's not that good. And like I added gold to the sun in the middle, dots of yellow and dots of yellow for the spikes on the sun.
Very beautiful. Thank you for showing that to us.
Subscribe to Cindy.
Thank you, love. Okay, that was my daughter showing her little watercolor painting she's working on. Okay, so yeah, that's really cute. So I'm going to set that one aside and we'll use it maybe in a journal, but let's finish cutting these up. Okay. Good, good. And then we have this left. Let me think. Do I want to do any different shapes at all with the remainder of these? No, I don't think so. I'm just going to cut up the middle here. Okay. And we'll turn that into two 1, 2. Okay, 2. So this will give us a nice big group of pockets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 pockets. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and use one. Set the rest of these aside. So let me grab my latest book I'm working on, and we will find a place to put this pocket because it's got a very nice Christmassy feel to it. It even has like a deck the halls bit of well, that would be kind of cute maybe, but let's see what else. I want to find something maybe with a bit of green or something neutral like that. And then we would add a bit of green somehow. Yeah, let's go with this page. So I'll just put my my ruler in here as a bit of a bookmark for a moment. I'll move that out of the way. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab a couple of things. Okay, so I grabbed this little bit of a leafy, leafy kind of floral bit. So we'll set those leaves aside because I think they make nice kind of greenery. And then I've got this is pink Christmas stuff. But there's lots of green going on in here with the pink. You know, so clearly we could add a big piece like that, but I don't think that's exactly what I want. I want something a little more tame here. And I'm choosing these leaves for a couple of reasons. I think they're going to create a bit of a solid space for me to put something like this on, but still really utilize this beautiful, you know, the fabric feel of this whole thing. So what do we need? We need, I need a needle, and I have a little tiny bit of green thread on this one little needle that's just hanging out of my desk, which is kind of perfect because what I want to do is I want to create almost like a holly shape with these 3 leaves, and I want to keep them together. So I'm just going to stitch them right on my pocket here so this whole thing stays together. Okay. And then we'll go back through the back. Got a bunch of stitches there. And then we'll just knot this at the back. 2. That's good. Yep. Now we need to decide what we want to put in here. I'm really loving this. This is like a little bird candle, flowers, and like greenery, and I think that would be quite nice. I might put that there to cover up that bit of purple, just because I want to sort of make this a more Christmas feeling piece. It's also an option, but not quite. That's too big. I still want to stick with this. I quite like that. Then we have this little, maybe a little pink rose cat. We have a present. Present could be cute. Or like one of these little stamps are great too. Not another bird though. We have this kind of floral. Kind of like that actually. Sometimes I just have too many decisions here. That doesn't stand up enough. but that does. Yeah, okay. Let's go with this. Okay, so this is already attached. Now we need to attach this with Fabri-Tac. So let's start with this one. Okay. And this one we're just going to glue to about here because this is going to stick up over the top of the pocket. Okay. There we go. Let's give that a bit of a press for a moment. Let's just let that dry. We'll throw these back in their little... Actually, I won't put them in the bag. I think I'll just put them in my current journal ephemera bin here. Much going on here in this studio during December. I'm working on a lot of projects. Not unusual. I will just dump this all in there. Okay, then we will come in and add glue now to this. So we're just going to go around the edge. Fun, fun, fun. Okay. Plunk that down right there. And I think that's a really fun and interesting pocket. And it's just going to add like some nice texture. And you know, it's not super, super bulky, which is good. So, let me see if I have like something that I could put in there to kind of show you what it's going to look like as a pocket. So see, it's going to hold that really sweetly. Now, whenever you're using Fabri-Tac to hold something down, it needs a little more drying time than like say art glitter glue. So I will just let that go and dry on its own. But yeah, we made a nice chunk of these, you know, from otherwise unused fabric bits. So these will go really nicely into a lot of different books. I think they feel very much like a nice jumble, and I love that. So, yeah, that is my project for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you tomorrow for some more Dephemerember. Bye for now.